Yeah, what's up, everybody?
Hi everybody, it's Cindy here with Stampin' Creations. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy Piggott and I am the face behind Stampin' Creations. I am also an independent demonstrator and I live in Ontario, Canada. So I'm a very proud Canadian, so welcome. I hope you enjoy this. I do these videos once a week on Monday, and we call them Mystery Monday. And you can find all the details on my blog. So if you have not seen those yet, be sure to check it out and get all the information. So let me just... Okay, you can find my blog information here in my link tree that you can see here in the bottom, I guess, left-hand corner. So let's get started. Just a couple things actually before we start. Just want to remind you that the 28th, which is Tuesday, is the very last day for celebration. So I know a lot of you guys have taken advantage of the celebration up until this point, which is fantastic. We are only at Stampin' Up! Doing one celebration this year. Normally we would do two. This year we're only doing one. So what that means, for every $60 that you have spent on any of our current product, you get to choose one exclusive item from the celebration book or the add-on that was recently sent out, okay, or recently posted. If your wish list is quite large, and when I say quite large, I'm going to say closer to $100, okay, you need to have a conversation with me because the starter kit is definitely the way to go. So I just want to make sure that you're getting as much bang for your buck as you possibly can, because in today's day and age, we need to stretch our dollars as far as we can. So if that interests you, please let me know. I do have my March classes booked and posted on my website, and you can get to my website by following my link tree item here. If you just type that into your web browser, it will take you to all of my links, all of my social media, and you will see my Stampin' Up! Store there, or my Stampin' Up! Website. And then from there, you can actually go see my events that are planned for March. So the one that I do want to highlight for you, there's a couple. I'm bringing back Sweets and Treats, Sweets and Stamping, which is basically treats and stamping, kind of like a coffee and a card, but it's going to be on a Saturday. We're going to try those out and see how that works out. Simple cards, easy. You get some treats from our local bakery. It's pretty awesome. So that's number one. Number two is actually, I'm holding a class on March, I believe it's the 9th. No, it can't be the 19th. It must be the 23rd. In March, I can't remember the date right now. I have so many dates floating around in my head. And it's on how to use window sheets and how to use vellum. So I have been asked for this class over and over and over, and I'm now excited to be able to offer this to you. So this will be an in-person class, just because of the items that we will be using to create the cards. So you're going to make 3 cards using vellum, 3 cards using window sheets. And I'm just highlighting this one specifically because I've just been made aware that I need to be out of town for 3 days prior to that class, and I will be returning the evening of that class. So I need to make sure that I am prepped and ready in good time. So I'm going to ask that if you are interested in that class, you can find the details on my website, that you RSVP right away, because that is one I will definitely have to turn people away for if you're registering at the last minute. Okay? Okay. Let's get started and we will see what we can come up with. All right. So, a couple things. This is definitely a card that you probably want your silicone mat for. So I'm going to use mine. And I've already pre-cut and kind of stamped a lot of these items just because I knew I wasn't going to be doing this live. Okay, so my first card, I am actually using Fresh Freesia. And I don't know if you can see here on the camera or not, but I'm actually using the new embossing folder that comes with the new suite that's going live March 1st. And I did show that on my unveiling video a few weeks back. and it's really cool. It's a very nice, subtle type embossing folder. So I've gone ahead and I've already pre-embossed that. And this one here is also one of those embossing folders that I showcased. It's really, really pretty. So we're going to use that. So we have our card base, and then we have this that is, I think, did I say 3 1/4 by 2 1/2? Let me see here. 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. Sorry, I just realized that you cannot even see my, oops, sorry. Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry, I realized you couldn't actually see my face while I was doing this. Okay. So this piece is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. I believe I said. This is our 2 3/4 circle. So I am using the stitch circle from Stylish Shapes. Now I'm going to tell you something about these. I use this every single video. You'll notice that I use this every single video. I'm absolutely a little bit obsessed with these, but these right here were on back order for a very, very long time. They are now back in stock, okay? However, they are going to run out very quickly. So I'm going to suggest, if you missed them and you would like them, that you run to my store and purchase them, because you can actually get them now with a celebration item as well, right? So the item number, write this down. Ready? 159183. 159183. So this is actually how I store all of my dies. They're just in a Stampin' Up! Case. And I just order these magnetic sheets on Amazon, and then I just put them there, and I put the cover that comes with them. I just put those in the front. Okay? So 159183 is the number that you want to order those. All right. Are we ready? Oh yeah, sorry. Let me finish telling you what else we need. I told you 1/4 inch, like a 1/4 inch by 4 1/2, and you need 5 of these. So this one I'm using the tea paper. It actually has a name, not tea paper. It actually really does have a real name, and it's called Tea Bouquet. Okay, so you need 5 of those, and then I just pre-cut some elements here to decorate my card with. All right, so let's get started. Now, you probably want fine tip glue for this. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open my card for this one. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to make sure that I have this as a nice flat surface. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here just so you guys can see a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to take these little pieces here. Now, if you, this has a pattern. I'm going to use this pattern, not the yellow pattern, but I can rotate back and forth as well. But these are actually going to line up here as such. Actually, maybe I will go back and forth. I wasn't going to, but maybe I will, just for some color and contrast. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and glue these down. So this is where the fine tip glue is really, really helpful. Okay, so that's what we have. And I'm just putting, like, I don't know, a little space between them. Don't ask me measurements because I'm really bad with measurements. If anybody knows me, ask my family. I couldn't tell you a measurement to save my life. So I'm going to use my fine tip glue. I'm going to start here. I'm going to actually move these out of the way. And I'm going to put these onto the silicone mat. And, okay. Now this is really fun because I can't feel my fingers. So this is going to be fun, friends. Okay, so I'm going to put this one here. So I am going more to the left side of my card. And if you know anything about fine tip glue, you know that you do need to hold it there just for a quick second. Now, and when you have your cardstock embossed, it does take a minute for the paper to absorb, like to stick, just because it has all those little grooves, right? So it has to get into those little grooves and adhere from there. So I'm going to go put my glue on my second portion of my strip. Now, if you don't have fine tip glue, that's okay. You can use just your Tombow or your tape runner if you would like. So I really just want to make sure that I'm lining this up properly top to bottom and evenly between. I'm just going to hold that there for a second. Now, if you have a hard time picking up this paper, which I do, but I can't find my tweezers right now, you could use a pair of tweezers to pick them up. Now, the other thing I just want to tell you, and you probably can't see because my logo's in the way, but don't put very much glue because you don't want it gushing out the side. So mine did actually gush out the side here. So, but it's my card, and hopefully when it dries, it won't be that bad. But very, very thin layers of glue here. And again, I'm rotating my paper back and forth, but you really don't have to. It's totally up to you. You can do the same pattern. Okay, I gotta move this glue. I'm gonna knock it over. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy over this fine tip glue. Some people say that it doesn't work. Some people say that it clogs. I've had this glue for quite a long time. You can't see how much is in it, but it's over half gone. So you really do have to be careful when you're closing the lid and making sure that the needle gets right into the actual tip there, right? And I think that is the problem sometimes, is that it does not get right in. You think it's in, but it's actually not in. I love my fine tip glue personally. Oh shoot, I just did that wrong. So we'll just put that one over there for, oops, over there for a second. I actually want this side for this one. I'm talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Sorry. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I've got it and I threw it out because it just clogged on me. And I mean, it does happen. But I've had mine for a very long time. I've really had no issues. So I promise you the hardest part of this card is probably lining this up. There we go. Okay. Once you get this part done, it's actually smooth sailing. I already have glue on this one, so I can go ahead and adhere this one. So the great thing about having this as a recorded video this week is that you can stop me. You can stop me, you can pause me, and do what you need to do. All right, so I'm going to put that there. So when I go to close this up, I actually like to take my finger and hold it against the tip. And then I take this needle, and I'm using my finger as the guide to push that in. Okay, and then it's kind of a little bit tight, and then I can put it in. So what happens is that you think it's in, but the needle is moved, and it's actually kind of outside. And then this actually clogs up. Okay, so just as an FYI on that. Let's see if we can make this a little bit crisper. Okay. All right. So this appears to be pretty dry. So now I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to actually put this here. And I'm just going to use my tape runner for this one. So my Stampin' seal. And I'm going to line that up kind of in the middle-ish of my card. And again, when you have embossing, it takes a little bit more to get into all those little grooves. So you may have to actually use a little bit more glue than what you're used to using. And then I'm going to use my circle. And this is going to go about here. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with mine. So my teacup is going to go here. I've got a piece of vellum on top that I need to glue down, but just to show you. And then I'm going to put my flowers in the middle. Now this one I'm not putting a sentiment on. Now the other two I will, but this one I am not. And then I'm going to just add some gems on here as well. Okay. So, and I can pop things up. I can do all the things. Now I've got to grab my glue dots. All right. So I like to keep my glue dots just in these pouches. This is just a pouch that we get when we get our dies. And I have a whole basket full of them, and that's what I actually use to store my glue dots and my dimensionals in. And those are all extra dimensional or glue dots from paper pumpkins or kits or those kind of things. So what is the trick to vellum? Well, it's not really a trick, but little pointers would be only put your glue ideally where you won't see it. But if you have to use glue dots, I like to put it on the thicker spots and then just peel these back. And I usually use the end of my take your pick tool for this, but I did not for this one. And then I'm just going to layer this on top here. Okay, and you can't really see those glue dots, which I think is super duper cool, right? I can't see those glue dots. I don't know. I'm right here and I can't see the glue dots. So, I find glue dots with vellum actually works the best, to be quite honest. But there's some really, really cool things we can do with vellum that I'm going to show you during the class that's coming up. So again, limiting the amount of people coming. And there's, I think, 4 spots left. So, you know what I should have done actually? Okay, I should have put my tape runner here, but I just already put my dimensional there. So I'm just going to run that there. I'm going to put my little flower here. There we go. I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. Let that dry. And then I'm going to adhere this to my card. In the meantime, I'm going to put my circle down, and I'm going to actually pop my circle up with my dimensionals. So dimensionals are an amazing, amazing way to add a big wow to your card. Like it's just a little bit of it's just a little piece of foam, but honestly, it adds such dimension to your card that it's incredible. So there we go. I forgot I put the dimensionals on this one already. Okay, now we need some gems. We need some gems, friends. I have so many gems. I need to actually go through all these because I got more gems than I know what to do with. And some of them are not current. Some of them are, I just found my tweezers, by the way. I'm going to use these gold butterflies. I'm not even sure that they're still current, but I love them. So I'm going to use these. They're brushed brass butterflies. Oops. Okay, I guess that one's going right there because that one just fell right off my, I should use a small one here. That one and that one. Okay, so this one I'm not putting a sentiment, and there's my first card. Super duper simple, great way to use up your scraps. And again, I'm using the same pattern, but you could actually mix up your papers if you wanted. And I could put a sentiment here if I wanted, but I didn't on this one. All right, so that's card number 1. Let's see what we can do for card number 2. Do you know what I'm looking for? This is what I'm looking for right here. Okay. All right, card number 2 is going to be what? This one here. Let's do this one. So this paper I'm using is Balmy Blue. And I've gone ahead and I've embossed it with the tiny dots, dainty dots, tiny dots. I can't remember what it's called. Super duper pretty. Just see those dots on there? Oh, so dainty. I love it. I think they're called dainty dots. And I'm using, this is the paper that is from this paper pack called Fancy Flora, which also coordinates with the stamp set, which is this one here, Two-Tone Flora. Okay, you guys will know that I'm a little bit obsessed with this. I use this a lot. My favorite stamp set right here, and dies. This paper is incredible, so this all coordinates together. So I'm using just a piece of scrap that I had in my paper pack, And I'm using the blues, and the papers that I'm using have the purples, so the Fresh Freesia and the Bashful Blue, or no, not Bashful Blue, that's an old color, Balmy Blue, but I could have actually used this side as well. Okay, but I wanted something a little bit lighter and pale, so I'm just going to go ahead and use those, and I think I'll do these ones all the same. And then I have a piece of Fresh Freesia here that I have embossed again with the new embossing folder that's coming out March 1st. It's the 3-pack embossing folder. And then I have my circle, and then I've just cut out the flower. Well, actually, this flower I already had cut out. That's why I kind of decided to go with this color tone. And then my leaves to coordinate with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out our fine tip glue. And I'm going to adhere this again. Just careful with how much glue you're putting on, because you don't want to gush out. It's kind of tricky, right? Because you need enough, if it's embossed, that it will adhere, but you don't want it to be too much that it's gushing out of your paper either, right? So it's kind of a, okay. All right, there we go. Okay, and then, so there is a new book coming out in what month? May? June? And we get to actually see at the end of March as a demonstrator. So that's one of the perks of being a demonstrator, is you actually get to see product and catalogs a month before the general public. And you also get to pre-order the product a month in advance. So that new bundle that's coming out for the online exclusives that I did the revealing for, if you're a demonstrator, you actually get to order that. We got to order it February 1st as opposed to March 1st when customers can order it. So some great perks that way. And then there's other perks, like you get a discount, you get to attend exclusive events. If you're on my team specifically, I have exclusive events and perks for my team that I offer that you wouldn't get from other demonstrators, because they're obviously exclusive to my team. So yeah, so if that is something that interests you, we need to chat. And the great thing is, if you decide you don't want your kit anymore, you just walk away, friends. Yep, just take your product. Happy crafting. Fantastic. I have realized I have been a demonstrator now for 17 years. And my husband did not expect me to last a month, let alone 17 years. Because I do tend to be kind of a little bit scattered, in the sense that I don't generally stick to much for very long. Well, to his surprise, here I am. Okay, so I'm just pushing that down, just holding that in place, just because it is the fine tip glue, so it is the liquid, and my bottom is embossed. Okay, so again, I'm just going to put my finger there to guide where I'm going to put my needle, and then I just stick my needle right inside there. I'm gonna, oh, see, it feels like that one's not in. There we go. So you can actually feel when it goes in. All right, so then I need, isn't this embossing folder fun? It's like big pops, like big bubbles. I love it. I can see this one being a great one for like baby cards or anything. It's just very, very subtle. It makes me happy, actually, this embossing folder. So I'm just lining that up there. Now, this card was designed as a portrait card. However, if you choose not to have it as a portrait card, that is up to you. Oh, I was going to do some stamping on this one, actually. So this one, I was actually thinking of using this thinking of you. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Thinking of you on this card. And I might use the fresh freesia. I could use balmy blue, but let's do fresh freesia. It's a lot of purple on this card, I know, but let's see what we can do here. So if you're going to do any stamping on your circle, I suggest that you do that before you put your elements down. So I'm just going to do mine now. So then I can kind of place my element wherever I think it needs to go based on this. Okay, so that's perfect. So I have that towards the bottom. Okay, and then what I can do is actually bring in my element here. This one. And this one. These kind of look like horns, don't they? I don't like that. But anyway, we'll situate this here. Let me just get my... Oh, they're right beside me. I'm looking for something that's right beside me. I know, you're not shocked. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do here is I'm going to maybe put my glue... Oops. Helps when you put the glue in the right spot. Put there. Okay, so I'm going to actually put this one about there. Oh gosh, I don't like that at all. There, we'll do that. There we go. Oops, I didn't take the backing off that. Wondering why it's not sticking. Sticking, but it's not sticking. Do you know what I mean? Okay, and then I'm gonna put that there, and I need some gems. So we'll have to get me some gems. So if you do not have dimensionals on your wish list, they come in two sizes, the large and the small. I have both because I find that there's a need for one over the other sometimes. Sometimes you want the big one, sometimes you just want a small one. But they are both, they operate the same. They function the same. Okay, let me see here. Actually, you know what I'm looking for? Oh, here's some pearls. I have not used pearls in a while. Let's use some pearls. I have not used pearls in 100 years. I am definitely more of a rhinestone girl than a pearls, but I feel like this one we could get away with pearls. What do you think? What do you think of that? Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention that I have absolutely been slacking on is the gifts. So I'm just using my bone folder to crease this, but I don't want to flatten my embossing folder. That's my second one. I don't know if I like this. I feel like they need to be moved. So I have been slacking very much on sending out gifts to those that post their cards. But I also have noticed that you friends have been slacking on posting your pictures. So I think we're both guilty at this point. And so what I'm going to do, I have a crazy, literally crazy amount of embellishments here that I need to move along to some other people. So any person who posts their picture onto my Facebook group of their finished cards, I am going to send you an embellishment. Okay. And if I don't send you an embellishment, you need to tap me on the shoulder and say, girl, where is my embellishment? Because Sometimes I get busy and I forget. So you need to remind me. I need to do a better job. And I want to send out a ton of embellishments because I have got way too many embellishments here. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I've got a crazy amount of embellishments here. So let's get those in your pretty hands and out of my drawer. Okay, so those are my 2 cards. Great way to use up scraps, right? All right, last card. So this one, I'm using Daffodil Delight. Nope, this is actually Crushed Curry. And I'm going to actually use this part of the embossing folder. So I don't know if you can tell on this, but I'm using this is the outside, which is the raised side. I'm actually going to use the pushed in part of the card for this one. And I am using the new Sweet, a little bit obsessed with this one as well, friends, Irresistible Blooms. This is the one that is an online exclusive starting March 1st, and it has the coordinating paper, which was right here on my fingertips before I started moving everything. This paper I can guarantee you will sell out. I can promise you. Hello, Irresistible. Remember I showed you this with that pretty paper? It's like beautiful. Do you remember this one? Yeah. So it's going to sell out. I can guarantee you the paper will sell out. So, and this stamp set, this font, ladies, come on. Like, this font is like incredible. And these flowers are beautiful. So there's that. And there is the coordinating dies, right? So much fun with this one. So online exclusive, March 1st. Unless you're a demonstrator, you can order it right now. All right, let's get started. So I am using Petal Pink for this one, and this is the new embossing folder. I know it's kind of hard to see. The lighting in here is terrible. Really cool. And then I'm using the back. This was just scrap that I had from doing a project. I'm using, this one's very pale, but it's got the yellows and the flirty flamingos. And then I have pre-cut and pre-stamped the flower with a couple of leaves. And then I think there's embellishments that match this one. Yes, there is. There's the ones that are the little bubbles, so we'll use them. All right, here we go. Let's get started on this last one. This is a super easy card to do tonight, guys. And I kind of did that on purpose because I want you to have fun creating just fun, different cards. And sometimes it's just a matter of like, I don't even know how to use my paper, right? Like I have designer series paper. I don't know how to use it. Or I got so many scraps. I have no idea how to use up all these scraps. Well, let me show you. So that's why I've gone back to doing this kind of a card for tonight. Just because we've been doing techniques for the last little while and fun folds and that kind of thing. And so I just want to get back to the basics and give you some really simple card ideas that you can use and a great way to use up your scraps. So again, I'm using all the same paper pack, but you don't have to, right? Like, it's completely up to you. I just look at my paper pack, and for me, it's easier to create with the same color coordinate. I can't color coordinate to save my life. That's why I love Stampin' Up. It does all the thinking for me. So it's definitely. But if you've got a scrap bin of paper that, excuse me, is sitting there, and you're like, I got to do something with this. This is one of those cards. This is great. You can make a ton of cards with just those little itty bitties, right? Like, we all have those itty bitties that we're like, what do we do with these? And under normal circumstances, I might throw this out, but you'll see that when I put these all together, it's actually a good size paper, but you might have these little strips kicking. I don't keep strips this size, to be quite honest. If they're this small, they're going right in the garbage. But you might be that person that saves all these. And if you are, bless your heart. Oops daisies. Oops daisies. The nice thing about liquid glue too is that you can actually You have a few minutes to change it if you need to. All right, this one's going to be very pinky, but that's okay. So Flirty Flamingo is actually the color that's in this paper. This is the paper pack that they're bringing back a retired colors, 2 retired colors actually, which reminds me that there is potentially, I'm going to say probably 90% sure, there's going to be a color revamp. And what does that mean? It means they're going to shake up all the colors. So out of our color families, they're going to take some colors away and they're going to bring in new colors. And they may not all be brand new colors. They might actually just be colors we've seen before. Our in color colors that we get every year, that's actually what they're intended to do, is to see which colors could be potentially replacement colors. That's the purpose behind making them limited edition colors like that. So it's been a while. It's been 5 years, because I think it's been 5 years since I've had the studio. And they did a color revamp just after I had moved in here, because I had bought a set of inks for here and a set of inks for at home. And they had actually did a color revamp just after I had purchased all those colors. So that's how I know it's been 5 years. Oh, I was going to do some stamping on this one. See, I get talking and I can't. Okay, so I am going to use hello on this one because I think that's adorable. I could do hooray, it's your day. But let's do hello. I like that one. And I think I'm going to do it in Flirty Flamingo because Flirty Flamingo is fun. Okay, can I show you something? Yeah, friends. So guess what Cindy did? Cindy re-inked this foam ink pad with an old style ink, or re-inker. I've ruined my ink pad. I haven't ruined it, but that's what it looks like now. So when I tell you that you need to have the right ink pad for the right type of, or right re-inker for the right ink pad, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to do a hello here in Flirty Flamingo. Fun color this one is. Then I'm going to take my Flirty Flamingos and I'm going to put this one here. Maybe this one can go up here. Like this maybe? What do we think? Like that? That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. Let's do that. Oh, now my nose has gotten extremely itchy. Okay. So I'm going to put this one down first. And of course I put dimensionals. Like, hello. Of course we use dimensionals. But let's grab, let's make sure our tape runners go in the right direction. Oh my lord. Okay. So I'm going to put this one about there. And I'm going to put this one. Okay. Sorry. I'm just trying to function here. Okay. Now, we're going to definitely have to use some dimensionals on this one to pop this one up. So, just as a reminder, please RSVP for your classes in March ASAP. I know sometimes you don't know what's going on, and I know it's weather dependent, and I get all that. But I am going to be out of town, so I need to plan accordingly ahead of what I might normally do. All right, so I think I have gems here sitting on my desk. Do right here. Look at these. Well, we know we're going to use these. So, very carefully opening these. Look how beautiful these are. These are the gems that go with this suite. So I think I actually want to use this Lost Lagoon on here because I think those are super duper pretty. Those are not Lost Lagoon. Those are the other ones. Pretty Peacock. I'm just trying to see if this is the... I want to grab small glue dots. like the ones that are always at the very bottom. Yeah, those ones are the ones I want to grab. All right. So I'm going to put these ones. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one here. I forgot the cat was in the room with me. You can imagine my surprise when I heard something moving. All right. Okay, so I'm taking that one off. So if you don't have a take your pick tool, holy smokes, you need one. And take your pick tool is in the toolkits that I have here. Okay, let me see. I'm just going to put this. Come on, flip on over. Okay, now you're just being difficult. It's gotten into the little crease here. Yeah, flip over. There we go. Okay. These are really, really fun. Look how pretty that is. Sometimes I feel like the camera does not show how pretty these cards are. Oh, I feel like I should have put one there because there's something right there. Because there's a little spot right there. It must be glue. Okay. So let's take a look at all three of the cards. I hope this is still recording. Okay, good. Okay, so this is the first one. It's okay. Don't love it. It's okay. This is the second card. I need to move these. They look like horns to me. Or antlers. I don't know. And then that's the third one. Okay, so that's it. So let me go back here. Let me go like this. All right. So friends, you need to complete your cards. And I want you to post them on my Cindy's Stamping Chick page. If you post your card there, I will send you an embellishment, okay, of my choice. And if I do not send you an embellishment, do not hesitate to tap me on the shoulder and say, Cindy, I posted my card for Mystery Monday on Monday, February 27th, which is my sister's birthday. And you have not sent me an embellishment yet, okay? Because Cindy's brain gets pretty full sometimes, and it forgets, right? So I won't be the least bit offended if you tap me on the shoulder and say, you forgot to do this. Because sometimes we all need a little bit of help. So, and friends, I need you to remind me. All right. That's all I have for you tonight. I will be back hopefully live next week with something new and fun. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Please be sure to check out the classes that I have listed for March. There will be April ones coming soon, but I need to get March organized and ready to go, and then we will be good. And don't forget about Celebration. Celebration ends February 28th at midnight. So please get your orders in before that, so then they're done, and a lot will sell out very quickly. And again, don't forget about the starter kit. So if that's something that interests you, you have a large shopping list, then let's have a chat and we can decide if that's a good fit for you. Okay? All right. Thanks, everybody. Be sure to share and like this video and like my channel. I would appreciate it. And we will talk soon. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?